I like suffering, but not in this way.
No, fair enough.
Not in like puking way suffering. But I think it's going to be a raid. I think so? Yeah, I think we can.
So, I'm watching a Coxic on Twitch. I muted the volume. I just excited to go live. So when did I? So it was a week ago Sunday. Which Sunday was it? It seems like it was Saturday. Was it Saturday? No. Yeah, it could have been. It could have been. Anyway, I went to a local diner, and when I left, I was walking to the gas station, and I decided I was going to go to the Dollar General to get, because it's it's more grocery store. These at the gas station cost me like $4 or something, like $3.50 to $4. At the grocery at the Dollar General, they're like $1.25. So I was like, oh, go across the street and save a few bucks. And then my leg cramped up. Oh, it was like to the point where I couldn't like stand on it. I have one knee that's a reconstructed knee, my tibia and fibula. Somebody was like, oh, you don't know how to pronounce it. It's like, whatever. Same difference. See, I think a lot of people said that Foreman, well, anyway, I'm so excited to be able to talk to people. Like I recently started reaching out in the verses in the internets. I've actually made somebody willing to talk to me, which is a breakthrough. And anyway, I'll tell you about the police and the lawyer. I think the trial's over. Oh, Mr. Brown, get out of town. Oh, wait, you can't take the farm with you. Oh, you would be destitute, powerless, a traveler, like a gypsy. Yeah, I've recently come to like have why did the throughout. Oh, we think it's like gypsies are so fun and stuff. All these cartoons, 'cause a lot of people don't actually have any experience and they don't really see them. That stuff about abducted children, the rumors about gypsies and abducted children. I think it's true. They may not call themselves gypsies. Maybe that's why people change their name all the time. Yeah, this leg is just from the. I don't know the terminology. It is just seized up some fierce. From my calf, it's like the pain goes from here to like here to like around here. Oh, yeah, I have nobody. I ain't got nobody. Nobody cares for me. Yeah, I'm completely. Well, not that bad. You know, I can still get my DoorDash delivery. I'll probably have KFC for lunch or something. But boy, does this hurt. Oh, I have an error. It says YouTube is not receiving a video, maintain smooth streaming. Oh well, it looks good. I have 0 drop frames on this end. And consider turning down video setting. Oh well, I think I'm coming in clear enough. Maybe if a chatter drops by, they can tell me if the video's... This hurts so bad. Ooh. You can watch April Anonymous. I think she found the Odysseus residence in chapter 19, and it gives like a whereabouts where you can see the Odysseus. They bought an entire building. Not the only one reading this New York Times bestseller. It's like having a tour. It's like basing a tour off of a book. It's like, these are where the alleged events of Lore by Alexander Bracken took place. Just a tour of Lore's brownstone, Martha's Diner. Oh, yeah, they have a little map in there and everything. So anyway, for 2 weeks, I was observing a trial. For 2 weeks. And it involved a mature man in his 40s, sending inappropriate pictures to 15-year-olds. Well, this morning, I received what I consider inappropriate picture. Did a crime occur? No. Unless it elevates to stalking and harassing, Dave. Yeah, we're elevating. I think you and Phil, it's probably bad. Phil, we're probably gonna have to cancel our date because you're obviously gay rapists. See, Lady Gaga. That's why I'm obscure. But eventually, Lady Gaga's gonna have to explain why she flagged my Twitter account. I'm telling you, lady. These people, they're big pressure. Big pressure to have us change our culture to fit somebody. Well, I'm kind of beat up. See, the thing is, that guy, they think it's me. Now, they could have gotten me like 20, 30 years ago, maybe. Mostly older women. Mostly mature. Pretty sure. I don't think I've sent it to a child. Although if a child checked mommy's phone, then you got an issue. Still, it's I guess some people don't mature and sober up. That's a problem. If they do it sober, well, even then, we got so many. Was everybody offline? It shows them actively streaming. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Should we watch the Central Committee? Oh well, Twitch is being all kind of delayed. Let me close the Twitter. That way, I'm only streaming through this software, not running streams concurrently. This is just so annoying. Maybe something to do with dehydration. I'd probably just do my stream from the floor here. Oh, it's so filthy. At the same time, it's like my physical shape to clean. We'll see if somebody joins us. Whew. Oh. That's interesting. I hear like a little tapping. We have like the Littles here. The Littles were one of my favorite Saturday morning cartoons. It had to deal with these like little mouse, but they were little peoples. But they were like little mouse peoples. I think they had tails, and they lived in the walls and stuff. Can you imagine tiny people, but they're still people, and they like. It almost sounds like there's like water droplets, but there's nothing where the sound's coming from. Oh, that feels better. It could be a slip disc. I'm so overweight. See, I had back problems in college. It was a fluctuating thing. Stress, my job, other factors. There are many factors that go into health, and one of the factors I have is so many. Yeah, so many systems seem to be just being destroyed. Do you think it's possible that we have doctors who diagnose people gay? You think it's possible that like we have like a Dr. House or Jordan, and they're like, this man's gay. You know, and they have like they're so vested. There's so many books about. Well, the thing is, in order to have some of the policies that they have to have men be gay, and not gay and well, gay in a fun way, right? You know, we're just gonna be butt fucking each other, sucking each other off, going to work and making all the good things that heterosexuals like. It's truly the mentality. It's a natural course from Fight Club to Adjustment Day. I haven't read Fight Club. The movie was, it really tapped into guys, because you know how many office workers go out and roll and get dirty with freaking MMA people. See, we've been down where I'm from, where I'm a refugee from. MMA became the number one ambition for young men. Oh, what year was that? 2005, I think. I think it was 2005 because I'd gone on a deployment, an involuntary deployment with the Seabees, and spent 6 months in Iraq. Not a long time compared to friggin' other people. Still, went on that deployment. I came back and I was living with my brothers because there's a family housing issue. So I was going to the neighborhood pub. And I was sitting there, and there's a bartender, and she looks, we're making conversation. She looks at me, and she goes, "So tell me, Kevin, are you an MMA fighter?" I'm like, "What?" And it's like, everybody here is an MMA fighter, because, yeah, they had to open an MMA gym across the next door. And so they were doing their combat, and then they'd come over and have brewskis and watch sports, while they're training up for get into the UFC and stuff. Years ago, I was going to be more doing yoga and stuff, but there's the amount of space I have. Oh, I had space. It's just an organizational thing. I actually really thought that in my mind, I'd be like going back to my mom's side of the family church. My dad was Catholic, my mom's Mormon, and they both joined Scientology. So it is kind of like, oh boy, these organizations, they depend on donations. Scientology, you pay for classes. Catholics, I suppose it's the same thing. Donating 10% of your increase, or that's taxes. And then yeah, every church, they ask for donations. When they lose a person, they lose donations. Oh, Mr. Brown. Justin. To have a Christian preacher exposing themselves to children, that'd be very interesting. See, what was it? Tammy Faye Baker? Was it Jim Baker was the one crying because he got caught with a side chick? Oh, put that one on Facebook. They apologized. I'm sorry for exposing myself. I was just claiming that girl's pussy for Christ. Dude, marriage lines. I don't know if this book is popular enough for people to have a hissy fit, get a copyright strike for reading Charlie Weaver's. Oh, Letters from Mama. This isn't the marriage poem book. Letters from Mama. What year is this? Oh. Charlie Weaver's Letters from Mama by Cliff Arquette. Introduction by Jack Parr. Oh, love Mama. Dear Elsa, Mama always wanted me to be the life of the party. Things are fine in Mount Ida, she goes on, all except the crops. As our corn is only an inch high, the birds have to kneel down to eat it. Our wheat is so short your father's going to have to lather it before he can mow it. Also, your father sold our horse and he wants to buy a cow. I want him to buy a tractor. I told him he'd look awful silly trying to ride a cow, and he said he'd look a lot sillier trying to milk a tractor. On second thought, knowing your father, I don't think he would. Anyway, we already have a cow. She's friendly. She'll let anyone milk her, even people with cold hands. Leonard Box had all the horns removed from his cows. He said it was cheaper to do that than join the musicians union. Gomar Cool finally got engaged. He met this girl in a revolving door, and they started going around together. Her father recently died and left her everything. They don't know how much it is because they haven't gone through his pants pockets yet. She's the prettiest girl in Mount Ida. She reminds you of the Loch Ness Monster if it were taller. Gomar tried to get her a 24-carat diamond, but nobody would swap him a diamond for 24 carats. He was even willing to throw in an eggplant and a watermelon. The other day when Gomar was taking a load of hay to town, his wagon hit a rut and the whole load overturned on the road. The farmer came out and invited Gomar in to dinner. Gomar said, "I better not. Father wouldn't like it." The farmer insisted, so he went and had a wonderful dinner. After dinner, they played the gramophone, looked at the family album, played several games of Parcheesi. Then Gomar thanked the farmer and said, "I guess Father wouldn't like me being here." The farmer said, "Where's your father?" And Gomar says, "He's under the hay." Love, Mama. Oh, 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 my goodness. I can see my feet. Huh. Oh, there's a movie called Gaslighting. Called The Gaslight. Or Gaslighting. And it was one of those movies that really that portrays, wow, my leg is swollen. The one that I wonder what it is. See, I have my right leg. My right leg, it's usually bigger than my left leg, the calf area anyway, because it has a rod in it, and it's like from my well, it's interesting. It's interesting how long is somebody supposed to maintain their sanity, like Dylan Roof. You remember Dylan Roof? I wonder if this is like, well, oh yeah, it's funny. See, what happened was this morning, I woke up and this Christian guy is like with nasty little begging. He's a Jew. Let's be honest. Anyway, he's just he sent me dick pics and started like the come-ons and shit after the other night when another person I hang out with showing me pictures of a woman getting fucked by a dog right there at the bar. They're standing up for their rights. That's why I was going on Chuck Palahniuk. These are the people who need their own homeland. See, the gays want their own homeland. And they are going to stop at nothing until they get it. I don't know if he thought I was going to start beating him or something. It's like oh, lawyers. Do lawyers go out and get themselves beaten now? Trying to drum up business? Yeah, my wonderful like zero viewership. When at times I do get somebody, they're here for like 15 seconds and like, what is this? We want content. Oh, yeah, no viewers. 31 minutes, nobody stopped in. That's not unusual. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Probably Will Neff. Why do I say Will Neff? I'm pretty sure Will Neff showed up in the middle of the night one time and attacked me. See, I've been privileged to be able to travel, and there was a guy. Hey, Imka, remember we were at that club and you point out that dude who rumors is he lies to girls about his ages. They just travels around to clubs and places and lies to girl about their ages. Do you think they lie about their names also? Yeah, police know who this dude is. See, the police know who sent my dick pics this morning. He's probably the same dude who sends like underage girls dick pics. Boy, the way they help each other. Police Academy made copping look fun, but that's Chicago cops. The Chicago school. Why is that is a lot of fluid? Probably a stroke. You know why people are like, my uncle's a hypochondriac. This is seriously weird. The amount of fluid in my good leg. I wonder if it's a stroke. Because yeah, things are getting intense. Things are getting real intense out here.
Yeah. But there's the youth.
Wait, what? But I thought this was about getting better at business, not loving America. Are those the same thing? It's about loving capitalism, basically.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
I feel like a song could make you better at business. I don't know.
I'm actually a little bit shocked he wasn't full on negative about Hassan. He was called a great.
He respects Rich more than anything. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's why he couldn't. That's why he had to say like, okay, I can't really even me say that watching 500 hours of Mr. Beast is going to improve you, but watch his interviews where he's very insightful because I need to, gag a little bit. Let's see. I think that's kind of it. Alex Cooper, is that the one from?
She's
Call Me Daddy.
Call her daddy.
I do want to see what he says about Alex Cooper.
Oh, I am curious. Is this the only woman that is included in the content?
He probably didn't know she was a woman. It's just
Alex, right?
He did insinuate that he includes Clav, like whatever his name is, in that group.
Gotcha.
Are you looking where all the white men went
All you
to?
want to do is platform Andrew Tate, and I cannot. This is a father at a soccer match. I'm with my kid.
Oh.
Yeah, you having a shortage of white men? The white men starting to hang out with each other?
Can I say shout out to that dad?
Yeah.
Who said, as a father, I think it's fucking gross that you keep boosting this, sex trafficker, accused sex trafficker at least.
Accused.
Who's like fled multiple countries. How dare you keep feeding him to like young men?
Yes.
Let's see PPD respond to
And
this guy.
you're doing this while showing up to youth soccer games.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a major part of it.
Hey, and I cannot. This is a father at a soccer match. I'm with my kid. You promote Andrew Tate. I said, who do you promote to your kids? He says Destiny. I said, really?
Oh no!
I said,
Yeah.
your kid's going to benefit of watching Destiny.
About that guy. I'm sorry.
Damn it.
Yeah, they're the same. They're pointing fingers at each other.
Both from the kids.
Are you not allowed to read anymore? Is it just impossible to pick up a book if you're a child?
Yeah.
The TV slap it out of your hand. What happens to the 48 Rules of Power or whatever? Can't they just read that instead? Something.
Watch an AI YouTube summary of the 48 Rules of Power.
Right. Can it be content? Then who gives a
48
crap?
rules distilled to 2.
More than the tape? Yes. Like, all right, buddy, we have nothing in common. What net positive? And listen, it's great for show, it's great for TV, it's great for debate. Of course, I've had both of them. Not great for show. It's great for that. But what's the net positive score? What individual increases the net positive score for the youth today? What is it? Alex Cooper, who is going around telling everybody, hey, I'm glad I did this, I'm glad I did this. That's good. What happens if you need more information, Patrick.
This is the worst segment I've ever seen in my life.
She's going around saying, I did this? What? Is he upset that she's centering herself and saying that she has agency? Is that really what it
I
is?
just laughed so hard I got lightheaded. What does he mean by that? She's
I don't
walking around
know.
saying I did this and I'm happy I did that, and that's bad because she's a woman?
Is there some headline about her that we're missing? All I'm saying is that she's pregnant. Okay.
My most generous explanation of that segment is he literally just did not care enough to look into what kind of content she does. Like, he just was like, she's big, I see her on like the top lists of influencers, I'm throwing her on there, I don't know what she does, but I'm gonna bring her up.
Well, I mean, go ahead, Brandon.
But when she wouldn't come on her take, they probably lost interest.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Wow.
She gets in probably 10 minutes more than that show got in its lifetime in terms of views. It's probably because Alex Cooper left Barstool when I did this.
It's probably
I did
because
not work
it's probably
with,
because
you know,
some girls
Portnoy
didn't have a
anymore, and I
choice.
had to go on my
You
own.
chose to
and
be
have
a
this
whore.
massive podcast and get rich on my own. Like,
I think you're on the set. Like
You
I
protected
wouldn't
your
normally
rapist
AI things, but
boyfriend?
I'm trying to,
Well, you know,
I'm
these
trying to
Swedish women, they
protect
said
I'm using the Google
no,
AI.
they said
Okay.
deport
So
racists,
Google
not
AI,
rapists.
Alex Cooper, I'm glad I did.
Are you
this.
still trying to chase around
And,
the racist?
it
You
says
fucking
she was
whore.
glad that they paused rather than
With your
rushing
rapist?
into
You got
having
your army of
starting a
fucking
family
rapists,
when
you
they first
fucking
got
disgusting
married.
whore.
That's what comes up. I think that is what he means. I'm glad I did this, and I'm glad I didn't have a child immediately.
Net negative when a woman does
she's my age. She's 31.
So yeah, let's see.
Wait, actually, I'm 32.
that. Super net negative.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah,
10 points
no,
on that right
if
now.
we have a young man watching 500 hours of Emma Vigeland.
I did this. I did this.
You wrote the Mormon wives on
It's good for
Literotica.
debate. Of course. I
Oh, you
like
should
both
see
of
the
them.
Mormon wife
It's
on
great net
Literotica.
positive score.
Oh,
But
yeah, to
today,
watch her
what
husband
is
and,
it?
and
Alex
kids
Cooper
being
goes
filled with
going around
cum.
telling
Oh,
everybody,
it's so
"Hey,
hot,
I'm glad
huh?
I did this. I'm glad I did this. That's good. What happens if the average 18-year-old girl watches 500 hours of Alex Cooper? Body counts at 50 by the time you're 30 years old.
Oh, that's what he meant. Oh,
Andrew Tate
I
figured
figured
out like that.
I figured that. I figured he did that. Like,
Wow.
No, like they're real scumbags over the PPD show. It's easy to forget because sometimes they're
Let's see,
critical of like
Rockstar
Netanyahu
20.
or whatever for half a second.
It's
Sometimes
five
it
a
is,
year,
but
5
they're
rupees
like
a
real
year.
misogynist over on the PPD show. Like the way they talk about Andrew Tate and like what's going on there, like they're bad guys. You should never forget they're like real bad guys on that show.
Well,
Yeah.
they're just mad that there's a podcast where she sort of leans
Yeah, it's
liberal.
like,
and
we need a
had
gunslinger.
Kamala Harris on, and
Like John
isn't
Fogerty
ashamed
said,
of having
we
had
need a
sex
gunslinger.
before. Like that's the baseline
You're bad guys?
we're talking about. This pod. I've
You're
listened to
bad
the podcast.
guys.
She's a talented
Oh, he's so
interviewer.
scary?
Like, it is the least controversial show I could think of. Like I guess she had Monica Lewinsky on and said like, "I'm sorry you were treated poorly." Is that what they're upset about?
I think it's literally just the sex.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, yeah, I think
think
we're
it's-
looking too much into this now
and the
that I know
family
that
planning
little
thing.
part there.
But,
Yeah.
but like, PPD, you have somebody on your team.
Yeah,
who's
Monica
older
is
than,
an asset. She was
Alex
trained to do
Cooper,
that to politicians.
And, unmarried and kind of lapsed the idea of having a family, which, to be clear, I'm in the same boat as that guy.
But people
Adam
also hate
Sosnick, yeah, exactly. Like, Adam Sosnick is on your program every day. What
Yeah.
are you doing to the young men? Is that creating positive value?
Yeah, but he's
He's
a
hitting
man.
at kids?
Yeah, they're breaking them before they can be a threat.
Because he like
Oh,
talks
really?
about them. Oh, weird. He's always just like, I hang out with those cats all the time in reference to hanging out with other people's children. So I'm like, people don't talk about kids as cats.
Yeah, you come into a
Listen,
listen, Nibba.
All right, we can do a little bit more.
It's like he Amish lady and shit. Man, why do you be hanging out with kids, man? Why do you be hanging out with your nieces and nephews? Man, there be something wrong with you, and you don't be hanging out. They be taking your kids over to their freaking brothers and sisters' houses and shit. What's wrong with these people?
How do you become a better net positive to society?
Okay, we got to figure out how to do these. Now that we've upgraded the
Yeah.
definition on our videos, we need to figure out how to do those zooms.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I know how to do them in post very easily.
I can do it live though. That'd
Yeah,
be
you're
nice.
fucking
Do it on
dumb.
OBS, just
Oh, yeah, they just get like a joystick controller from the camp.
punch in.
Yeah, it's only a matter of finding which Heather let you in.
Social Security is not insolvent.
For emphasis.
Which Heather was like, man, you weren't giving my
I
boyfriend
think
money?
we're good there. But you know, I still don't know if did he reach the conclusion about which 500 hours of content would be the most beneficial for a child, a young boy to consume.
Well, no, this is sort of like when you're doing. I mean,
Oh, Alice, are you being in
when
trans
setting up a
community?
Scientific study. And you're
Is that
sort
it?
of
That you need to, if you watch these boys watch enough fucking trans sex
you don't,
videos?
at that point, want to reach any conclusions.
Right. It's just a hypothesis.
Just it would be like unprofessional to come to a conclusion.
To not think like maybe like clavicular is as useful as Hassan for young boys.
Yeah. Jester Vaxing says, Matt, like big numbers guy. Hey Trey, Patrick Net Positive is his new name. Reese from Tacoma. Wait, I'm
Isn't it
actually
interesting?
curious. You
Look
had me laugh so hard coffee came
look
out
at
of
the-
my
look at
nose.
the
I
frozen
don't know
chat.
That got me so good. I literally forgot.
I mean, hey, Jeremy, am I being paranoid? Or is somebody at the YouTube headquarters like throttling this shit? Who could it be, YouTube?
Social conservative fiscal liberal Davidson reminds me of the Jack Handy joke. It's easy to sit there and say you'd like to have more money, and I guess that's what I'd like about it, it's easy, just sitting there, rocking back and forth, wanting that money.
I love Jack Kennedy so much.
That's I probably butchered it, and I think you meant David, because his name is actually Patrick Bet David, not Davidson. So that threw me off
Patrick
for a
Bet
second.
Davidson? That's a Aaron Brown joke about Matt Binder saying that. Do you remember why you said Patrick Bet Davidson, Binder?
I just forgot his name in the moment, and that's how I remembered it. And it took a life of its own.
That's a drop in
Aaron Brown's
Aaron Brown.
audience.
Pete Davidson
I'm
said
pretty sure he
9/11,
sounds like-
net negative or net positive?
I'm pretty sure he sells like T-shirts with that on there, and I get zero. I get nothing.
That's brutal.
What a shark.
Two kids in the trench coats just saw on Twitter that AOC is mad she wasn't offered a tour, sushi, or poker with the boys. Sorry, girl.
Oh,
Bingo
that's the
Dango, I
name.
didn't realize how COVID brain
Oh, I've been calling her
rotted
Phil.
breaking points in their audience was. They're buying into this fashion shit hook, line, and singer. I thought Crystal and Ryan were better than this. I mean, Ryan... I mean, the Fauci, I'm not sure, like, their audience is different than ours, and Crystal, like, is one of the best in the game. We will occasionally have some disagreements. Ryan has come on our show, and we've had disagreements about the COVID lab leak stuff, so people can watch that, but, I mean, I you know, their audience is a different audience than ours, and yes, there are some right-wingers in that audience.
I also think there's uncertainty about what actually happened with regards to the lab leak thing, and I understand why there's caution against, and I think like the right wing push to like promote a lab leak theory as racist and fascist. But I also don't think it might not be true. I genuinely don't know and reserve judgment on these sorts of things. So I think it's a little bit much to like say they're fascists for being open to it. Like Ryan is a journalist.
Yeah. And I'm not sure what you're referring to because I haven't seen the segment, but Kevin from Madison, AOC spoke at the Democratic Convention and said they were tirelessly working to end the violence and genocide. What the Democrats were doing in 2024 was not the meaning of tirelessly. More on Gaza should have been in that interview. I hear you. You know, I think she's pretty great on this issue, on the substance. Like, there are probably 3 or 4 Democrats that maybe have a better record on Palestine than her. But her record on Palestine also was very, very good prior to October 7th, too. She was trying to get Democrats elected, and I am sure that quote is not gonna, you know, it's gonna be difficult for her to distance herself from it, but I think her record overall is the more important thing. Ryan from Santa Monica, of course, PBD found what podcast would be best for kids to watch. The PBD podcast, probably.
And Miss Rachel, is she in that positive?
Yeah. And
Knowing these numbers and shapes and things?
And there were a few questions I didn't get to ask with AOC too that, like, I'm sure we'll have her on again, you know, and we'll be able to ask some more questions. She was time limited. All right, let's open up the phone lines. 646-257-3920 is the number. 646-257-3920. What do we have here as people populate? And okay, let's do 10. We're having fun today. So, Dave Rubin is obsessed with Zoran Mamdani, and he is, you know, honestly increasingly unhinged.
Yeah.
You have to wonder, I keep repeating this because it's very important that people remember this, that he and Tim Pool met with Benjamin Netanyahu last year. He and Tim Pool were caught taking Russian money. Oh, I'm sorry, they were victimized by it because they didn't know where it was coming from.
Caught accidentally receiving large infusions of cash from Russia.
Right,
ultimately.
Right. I would love a 6-figure check in the mail to be victimized in that exact way. So we know that they have no compunction about taking money from foreign entities, and not that Dave needs it because he's such a rabid Zionist, but he did go on an Israel trip, and you know he I feel like has gotten increasingly more offensive and messed up in what he's saying. Like what
hysterical.
We played that clip of him doing this extremely anti-Semitic rant about Jon Stewart, for example.
You mean John Leibowitz?
Right.
Dave Rubin reminded us.
He reminded us, yeah, exactly, and called him a combo. I mean, it's just like absolutely messed up stuff.
And a dhimmi, which
Yes.
is something that a word that only I think like Arabs and really racist Zionists know.
I didn't know it. We had to look it up. But so he's particularly fixated on Zoran as well. And so here he is talking about Zoran Mamdani being showing that he was open, expressing openness to reparations and commissioning a study to look at reparations for slavery for New Yorkers.
Where we just showed you, what are they doing? Well, they have a massive crime problem, so put up a sign. Tell people, maybe people don't realize you're not supposed to murder people. Could you just put up a sign? And what are they going to try to do in New York City? Well, this guy Charles Blow, and it's a perfect last name for the suck job he just did on Mamdani in this interview. Here he is, and they're talking about reparations.
So Sam would point out that Dave Rubin is recently a father, and me not having kids would think like maybe that would mellow somebody out a little bit. You'd have a little sense of peace with the world.
Mm-hmm.
It appears that David just isn't sleeping well, and it's making him really nasty in his waking hours.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be sleeping well either after that Jubilee performance. I'm surprised he even talks about murder, not people. Well, I mean, I guess I'm not surprised he talks about people not knowing murder is illegal. The way he was treated on Jubilee, that was just like consecutive homicides after that.
Yeah, he's seeing ghosts, I guess. All right, let's go back a second. He said something, yeah.
Try to do in New York
this is
City?
what I meant. Yeah, Charles, he's also overcompensating for being gay, by the way. That's what he's doing with that. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, or horny.
Maybe people don't realize you're not supposed to murder people. Could you just put up a sign? And what are they going to try to do in New York City? Well, this guy Charles Blow, and it's a perfect last name for the suck job he just did on Mamdani in this interview. Here he is, and they're talking about reparations. Watch this.
If a commission studying reparations in this city recommended cash reparations for people impacted in New York City, would you support that recommendation?
First, I want to say that I stand by what I submitted.
Yes.
It's the truth.
Yes.
It's not a personal assessment. And we often think about slavery and the complicity in slavery as being exclusively to certain geographic areas of the country.
Right.
Here in New York City, we were very complicit. And so I look forward to whatever those findings are. I can't give you an answer in advance of them, but I can tell you that this is critically important because this is also what it looks like to acknowledge what history truly was.
How about you will get nothing and like it? My family, at times I've told you guys this, starting in the early 1900s, we had hundreds of family members that came with nothing from Ellis Island and lived all over the boroughs. I have literally one cousin left in New York, and she doesn't talk to me because she don't like my politics. What are you going to do? Nobody in my family owned slaves on either side, and we have long records. But even if someone did, no one's guilty of their ancestors' sins. So if you want to pay people, Mamdani, give them some of your money. By the way, you're from Uganda. You're a Ugandan citizen. And of course, Uganda had quite a extensive trans-Saharan slave trade. But that's just besides the point. But for all of you that...
Where were they going, Dave?
Wait, hold on.
No one in America right now owns slaves. No one's living...
So this is like a really old racist thing to do. He's blaming...
African kings.
They
pushed their slaves, they flooded the market with their slaves.
For slavery, as if this wasn't like systemic and as if they weren't bought off for complicity in this, for the transatlantic slave trade. Man.
I would point out to Dave Rubin, he supports Israel, which in anybody's conception is founded in the idea of reparations. So maybe the problem Dave has with reparations isn't like guilty of sins of the past or whatever. It's that we are basically deputizing Black Americans to go conquer another people's land that is in a good part of the world for us.
Yeah, like what the Palestinians do in the Holocaust, by the way.
Well, I just wanted to jump in to say he's referring to not the transatlantic slave trade, but the trans-Saharan slave trade. So basically he's doing the other racist thing by going slavery existed in other places besides America. But what that forgets is that chattel slavery in America is a lot different than other forms of slavery that existed in parts of Africa or even other parts of the world prior to chattel slavery, and the various baggage that it contained when it came to the transatlantic slave trade, like racism and like the construction of race as a social construct, which is not the same thing. But like this is the Irish people were slaves too. Like there were other type of slaveries. We don't talk about the slavery that Africa had before white people got there. It's just like a distraction.
And when he says, why don't you pay it, right? Why don't you pay it, Mom? I can't even mispronounce it in the racist way that he tries. Because I actually know how to pronounce his name because I'm not an idiot. Like, when he says, Mom Donnie, give your money over, we already, if you think of Israel as reparations for the Holocaust, how many billions of dollars have been taken from people who, not many people in this country, there are, of course, descendants of Nazis that, came in Operation Paperclip, whatever. Like, there are people that were anti-Semitic, that were supportive of the Nazi effort, but the American taxpayer here, we fought against the Nazis, and yet, we send billions and billions of dollars every year
about
for this
$300 billion the entire history of Israel.
For a reparations project in that conception, that is really, an ethnic cleansing and genocidal campaign. So, I don't know. There are some people who are descendants of slaves here, as opposed to, and many more people who are descendants of slave owners than there are descendants of Nazis by numbers. Just throwing that out
But also,
there.
this is about frankly, the value that was created by all those people in bondage all those years ago that was funneled upwards into capital.
Yeah.
And that capital still exists. And yes, you can address the historical harms with money transfers. And also, it should be, in my opinion, part of a larger project away from the capitalism that was, in part, built by, plantation slavery. But yeah, you have no leg to stand on talking about this so-called, how can we talk about sins of the past when you think we need to send billions of dollars so that Israel can continue its conquest?
Yeah.
Living in America owned slaves. And no one that's living in America right now was a slave. So if you want to give money to someone whose ancestors were slaves, then go ahead and do it. But again, it's because they want to destroy and rip apart every fabric that ties us together is what he is trying to burn down. So again, good luck in New York. If you don't realize what time it is yet, you will eventually, and it will probably be too late. You're going to look at your watch and go, man, I should have left 5 minutes ago, because he is destroying everything that is good about that city. And as if they haven't taken enough from the people who produce, now he also wants to look into reparations. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Well, maybe we can fund it when the city, divests from Israel. We can use that money to do reparations.
Chicken Little Zionists.
Yeah,
I'd love to know when New York was a place that he would have spoke positively about.
Right. Well, he's like, you hear that cousin that doesn't talk to me anymore? You're going to regret this one day.
Yeah, exactly. It's so cynical to frame reparations as a punishment to slave owners.
Right.
Like,
Exactly. I mean, that's you sound like the French as it relates to Haiti.
Also, I would say, the crimes against black people in this country didn't stop when, Juneteenth happened.
Yeah.
And all his family members who they didn't have slaves, they didn't benefit from that system at all. Zero.
I mean, it's ironic to talk about we got to come here through Ellis Island. Guess what, Dave? My family too. And then you know what happened? They're given a whole bunch of land that the Americans took from indigenous people in the Dakotas.
Right. And the irony that he says, we got to come through Ellis Island. We had no issues with slavery.
Yeah, you weren't forced to work
How did the
fields.
slaves come? How were the slaves brought?
This ties in with this Errol Spence thing I put in the sound sheet.
What's this? Errol Spence?
So Errol Spence is a newly retired boxer.
Okay.
But he just had his last fight in Australia. And he's an American, and he walked out alongside Aboriginals.
Cool.
And then they asked him about it in the post-fight press conference, and I've never heard an athlete talk about colonization like this before.
Oh, wow. That's great. Okay, so yeah, this is, and Brian's a big boxing fan,
Huge.
so.
I love Errol Spence.
I guess I'm a new fan as well.
He just retired.
Okay, well.
I missed you by that much.
Just in time.
I'm also getting really into LeBron James right now.
But, in boxing there has been a tradition of political, have you ever heard of Muhammad Ali?
A little bit of history of race and
Political
empire.
radicalism and outspokenness. So this
I'm
is
gonna start getting into that guy.
Yeah, look into him.
Here's a little bit of his walkout, and then we'll get to his post-fight press conference.
One of the best welterweights in modern boxing.
And this is him retired. This is his last fight.
That was his last fight. It just happened this weekend, Saturday.
That's badass. So
No, there's below it is the press conference.
yeah. So is he Australian?
No, he's from Texas. You're gonna hear his southern accent.
Oh
Yeah, southern
wow.
accent.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you put it in. Yeah, let's start here. So this is his press conference. We're pulling it up right now. There we go.
And then anybody, and they had a thing called the whitening, where or British or more European, so they can take their culture away from them, take their language away from them, and take their whole identity away from them. So they took them out their families and cut ties with their families and sent them to white families to make them quote unquote more civilized and not savage, because they thought they were savages and things like that.
Can I just make a point on that? That is a facet of genocide that people don't think about, but it adds the huge history here too on this continent with the residential schools up in Canada, and I believe we call them boarding schools here, or just forced adoption of Native children by white families.
And it's basically his son would save the children basically because they took thousands of kids and took them away from their Aboriginal roots and put them in white families to make them more British or more European.
Did you know about that history before coming here, or did you learn it after arriving?
I've been knowing about the Aborigines in the north and things like that, because my whole thing, because I was looking at the Aborigines and stuff, and I see they're kind of lighter complected. So I was looking for where are the dark Aborigines at, and a lot of them are in the north, and they're way badder conditions than anybody. And they had a thing called the whitening, where they were trying to breed out the Aborigines. So they put them with white families, they put them with white people and things like that. So as the generations, their whole complexions are changing, basically, basically trying to breed them out. So, yeah,
let me get the volume off this computer. Yeah.
How can I help you?
Well, I just got really disturbed this morning because I sat through the Dustin Brown trial over at the courthouse, and I've had a series of beatings, random beatings in the city by groups of I guess if you shout it, it's true. Anyway, this guy, just like Dustin Brown, was sending dick pics. I'm not a 15-year-old girl, so we don't have that type of crime. I just want to get it documented that this is an ongoing case of serial harassment. I owe hundreds of thousands of dollars to Fairchild Medical. And then when legs recovered, because I had some random.
Is Dustin Brown sending you dick pics?
No. I watched the Dustin Brown trial. No, this is a dude that I think well, I don't think he's Chief Schwartz. I don't think this is my Chief Schwartz. He doesn't look like Chief Schwartz. I'm just trying to get my reservists back together because we're, ACAB people. Oh boy, they just don't like us. And I haven't find anybody. I just mind my own business and still get jumped and have these guys trying to set me up because it's not me. I'm not sending pictures. It might be an old phone number, but it's not me. So I just want to document that there's a freaking weirdly creepy weirdo who moved into Wairika a year ago. He's always from here. No, he's a transplant. And now it's getting.
Listen,
Yep.
We're going to get this documented. I don't want to go on about all that. okay?
Okay, yeah, and I'm gonna go to the courthouse, get a restraining order filed properly, and talk to Ms. Wetstein. Okay, thank you.
Okay, we'll get it documented, okay?
Okay, thank you. No, I don't think it's him.
About America, like PPD was saying.
Yeah, Jessica
Exactly.
doesn't think it was Justin
totally
either.
about America, just by saying its history, right?
Yeah, right. It's about keeping people ignorant, and not being able to make the historical connections to today. And it's why I like to emphasize too, like how the emphasis on the savage part, right, is the overarching trope that is used to dehumanize the colonized. But like even tactics like the overemphasis on potential sexual assaults on October 7th, which the Screams Without Word piece has been completely mostly debunked as like in terms of at the very least the systemic nature of it. There were a bunch of problems with that reporting. But when you put it in a historical context and you see how it was used to justify like the lynching of black men in the South, for example, you see how all of this is a continuation of a pattern. And I think there can be both frustration in understanding that we are still in that long history, but also comfort because it provides us a roadmap for liberation and for, righting historical injustices.
Yeah, absolutely, and like unbroken history, because a lot of people want to redeem America. I think of breaking points. I hear it every time I listen to Sagar say like the Israelification of the American military. We haven't done stuff like what Israel is doing since since Korea, since Vietnam, since the White Phosphorus and the Gulf War. When exactly did we stop? But of course,
you got a record of my phone call.
History
anyway,
of
I'm
American or Western imperialism or genocide.
Perhaps my in-stream one here would not be
what that point is, it depends. Maybe it's when we drop the nuclear weapons.
Anyway, I'm ending the stream now.
Rights Act. But
wait, would it end with a 20-second delay?
And then when you confront them with the fact that this stuff really never ended. Even slavery didn't end, which was a talking point for a while until we